Good day, podcast community. Pete Kane here, Podcast Pete, and certified lifestyle coach. The Freedom Flywheel, from achievement to fulfillment. Achievement to fulfillment. How many times do we find ourselves having the ladder on the wrong side of the wall? You achieve financially what you want, and you look around and your heart is empty. Your life is few friends instead of many friends because you didn't lean into fulfillment. You didn't lean into your freedom of relationships, of connections, of having the time freedom, the travel freedom, the wealth, the physical. Because you can have that ladder on that wall and you neglected the physical part of your body. You didn't prioritize it. So now you're wondering, how can I get it back? I'm going to give you some things and I want you to think about. We only share with you information for the interested people. If you're interested in freedom, if you're interested in time, wealth, physical, location, travel, and creative freedom, this can be for you. But we only change when the pain gets so bad, we have to look for other things that will get us out of that. It's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to not be where you are. Give yourself some grace, but change today. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. And the first step, join our freedom community. Be surrounded by people who encourage you, challenge you, are going on the same journey as you. Because when we look at our business, and this is about the business side of it, because we have to grow personally, because our business won't grow beyond our ability to grow. That's why we talk about and share Growth Day, the largest personal development community in the world. 300,000 people and growing, led by Brendan Bouchard, who certified me as a high-performance coach. I'm now helping others with the lifestyle part of it because I found out 4 years ago it could have been over. Absolutely could have been over. It was for my left side, and now 4 years later, I'm still working on it, going to the gym 6 days a week, prioritizing the physical part. So if we prioritize things, and those are the big things that we focus on, then we see transformation, and that's possible. When we look at the three pillars, let me make this a little bigger because I want you, let me see, hold on here. Let me look at my screen. Boom, boom. Yeah, no, let me see, almost. There we go. Okay. If you don't create demand in your business, you have a hobby or you have a business that's about to go out of business. Because without demand, you have nothing. You certainly don't have cash flow and you won't build a thriving school community. You got to build community. You have to have cash flow. And the first thing you do is generate demand. Let me give you an example. You have a good idea. You go out, you spend all this money on a website, and all this stuff, and you haven't even tested the idea. You said to a couple friends, I have this. And they say, great idea. Then you lack asking the final question. Would you pay this to solve that problem? When they say no, you don't have demand. If they say yes and they reach into their wallet and they pay you, that's confirmation. Do that a few times. Do that 5 times. People have to give you money. They can't tell you that it's a good idea, because your family and friends they don't want to hurt your feelings. They'll tell you, hey, that's a great idea, man. Everybody wants that. How about you? Would you pay $500 for it? Would you pay $50 for it? Then watch what they say. If they start backpedaling and they say something like, oh, yeah, I'm sure there's people that would, but I don't need it right now. Well, you just told me it was a great idea and that it could solve a problem for you, but you're not willing to pay for it, then it's just a good idea. So you got to test and you got to validate the problem you have or the solution you have to the problem that's out there. If people are willing to pay you for it, you got a good idea. Then you can move forward because you're creating demand, and keep doing that. Don't spend a lot of money on stuff, supply. Got to have a good website. Got to have this. Got to do this. Got to spend money here. And you got to validate. Before you do all that, validate what you have through demand. Demand is everything. Let me give you a couple examples. An airline ticket. Margins are slim. You can get it at any time, except when the weather turns like it is now. They'll cancel flights. But if I want to go to LA, depending on when I'm booking the tickets, if I book it 3 weeks out, less. If I book it 1 day out, there's more demand for that seat because it's last minute. I'm going to pay more, but I can get on it. If I want to buy a Rolex watch, I walk into a Rolex dealer. I want to buy that watch. Okay, that'll be 9 months. 9 months, I want it right now. Sorry, can't have it. You could buy it on the open market and pay 10 times more, but it's going to take you 9 months. So they have limited the supply, making sure that the experience is the best they can so people talk about it and love it, but they don't have unlimited demand. Walk in, buy a watch that day, okay, that's the price is going to reflect that because you can get it right now. So that's what you have to do. You got to create demand. Demand is everything. It's the life and blood of your business. So focus on your demand, master your supply, deliver the best you can, and you got a winning combination, and then build your community. Okay. When we talk about community, we talk about activating your freedoms: time, wealth, location, creative, health, and travel. These are the 6 we focus on. Now, the one we really focus on is personal growth, growing your skills, growing you, because your business will not grow beyond your ability. That's why we talk about Growth Day. And let me see if I can put that up here just for those that want to try it for 7 days. You can try it for 7 days and see. Have Brendan Bouchard coach you every day for those 7. Have another related video to back up what he's coaching you on. Have a thought-provoking question to get you to think. Put your list of things you're going to do, prioritize them. And then what are you grateful for? You always have to be thinking grateful because that'll help you fill your heart. I keep track of my wins, 3 wins a day. Write them down in my planner. I put the 5 things I'm going to focus on that day, starting with number 1. Always prioritize. That's the biggest rock. Get that one done first. Put that one in your jar. Then when you finish that one, go on to number 2. Is it always perfect? No, nobody's perfect. You work on it. You keep working on it. I've been working on Growth Day. I have been a part of Growth Day for well over 2 years. I heard about Brendan Bouchard 10 years ago in San Francisco. at a live event. Lost track of them, heard about it on an Ed Milet, Brendan Bouchard show when they talked about Growth Day. When I went in to look at it, I couldn't believe what the value I got for $50 a month. I get access to his daily coaching, a related instructor, teacher, coach. Sometimes it's Brendan, sometimes it's another one. Mel Robbins, Anthony Trucks, all the people, and there's more. There's a lot more. And when you look at what people are doing to pour into you, and you're in a community that's growing, and they prioritize personal growth, you're getting better each day. And that's what you want to do. When you grow your business, you have to grow. Do you want to go a month without a shower? You could. Not many people are going to want to be around you because you're going to stink. Well, think of your mental shower. Think of personal growth every day. Think about taking a mental personal growth shower each day. The 5 to Thrive is my mental shower that I take every day. I don't just take it once a week like a shower. Nobody would want to be around me if I only took a shower once a week. Same with the mental shower. You find people that are negative, complaining, being the victim. They have a mindset that they haven't taken mental personal growth showers. They're screaming, they're yelling, they're acting like fools in Minnesota. They're thinking that when you're trying to stop corruption and fraud, you're defending it. Is that where you want to be? Do you look yourself in the mirror and say, man, I'm proud. I'm proud to be throwing snowballs and bricks and stuff at federal agents. I'm proud of that. If that's where you are, you got some work to do. So hang in. I'm going to give you some more reasons because I want you to be on the growth train. Okay, hold on here. All right. Let me see. What did I do? Silent. Okay. The silent struggle. Moving from isolation of entrepreneurship to engineering of freedom. And it's freedom because together we're better. Together we're better in Growth Day. Together we're better in our Freedom School community. Together we're better working on ourselves. Together we're better generating leads, having a thriving business, developing relationships, and helping people, serving. Okay. Are you surrounded by people yet completely alone? Most people don't ask about the part of running a business. From the outside, everything looks, and there's obviously no obvious crime. It looks good. But when you really look, you see inside, you're the one making all the calls. You're carrying the responsibility entirely on your own. We see it all the time. There's my daughter homeschools, and she also has a hybrid school. The director of it made a comment like, I think I need to not control. I don't know if it was that word, but it was something like, I need to kind of look at the pace I'm on. I'm trying to do everything. And you have to empower people. You have to grow in your skills of running a business like that. Don't know her past. Don't know her person. I do know her. I met her. I don't know if she's run a business. Maybe this is the first time she has a great idea. I'm going to put the combination of homeschoolers together with a physical school twice a week. Together, they're better, those combinations. But has she run a business? Does she have to grow? Yes, because you're going to get stressed out and you're going to be not too effective when you aren't growing personally. Okay. The 3 p.m. wake-up call. Am I doing the right thing? Why does this feel harder than it should? How do I make payroll this month? What if it fails? Is this sustainable? Did I forget spending? Did I forget spending time for me? I need to figure this out. I'm not good enough. Why am I awake again? I can't stop thinking. This isn't a sharp pain. It's a never-ending, constant, low-level pressure, but it adds up. You're not broken. Most business owners don't struggle because they're incapable. They struggle because they're carrying too much alone. I have a friend. I had the first coaching session, and I didn't ask it in this one, but I've asked in the past, who is your inner circle? Who do you talk to? Who do you bounce ideas off of? You have to have that. Without that, you got all this stuff going on in your brain. And will give you that loneliness. Like, I'm the only one. No, you have to have a community. That's why we have the Freedom Community at SCORE. That's why we have Growth Day, 300,000 people worldwide and growing, 9-10 countries and growing, because people love to be part of something special, a community that's going places, that supports you, that educates you, that provides the necessary challenges to challenge our brain. No space to think, no sounding board, no clarity, just noise, urgent, and another 10 decisions to make tomorrow. The problem isn't your mindset, but it's your lack of a system. When we coach on clarity. What are your 3 priorities for the week? And what are you going to do to get closer to those? Not 10. You got to narrow it down. And each day, if you get that most important thing done for one of those 3 priorities, you're moving the needle, you're transforming. And that's why we talk about time freedom. Time freedom. Had a buddy, a friend of mine, I think it was early in the morning, maybe 7 o'clock. He said, "Hey, can you have lunch today?" Yes. I looked at my schedule. I have white space built in for relationships. We had lunch at a great French cafe here in Kennesaw, and we spent time catching up because he's 2.5 weeks into a new job. And it was a good sounding board to hear, to talk, to hear yourself talk about what's going on. If we don't get it out, we don't have a sounding board, then it just keeps bouncing around here like a ping pong ball. It doesn't advance. When you hear yourself talking, when you have a person to share with, when you have a group of people that you can turn to, you're better, because together you're better. Together you can, go on this journey. We're all on a journey. If we're in business, don't be a solo journey. Go on it together. Join the Freedom. Just go in the upper left-hand corner, scan it, join it. It's free. That's where I can help you. And then when you're ready to invest in yourself, a small investment, $97 a month, you're going to get an automated system. You're going to get Growth Day. You're going to get coaching. You're going to get a community. You're going to get a focus, because we put 30-day sprints that allows you to move fast, because you got to get some momentum. You got to get some flow. You got to surround yourself with people. And in that community you are, in personal growth, you're getting coached every day. Then you're getting coached by myself, a certified high-performance coach that focuses on lifestyle. Okay. The road to freedom starts here. Running a business is mentally demanding, acknowledging that it's the first step. The second step is realizing there's a design path out of the noise. Transition from accidental success to a design life. The engineering of freedom. We talk about the flywheel of growth. Starts with growth day. Your habits. When I wake up, I drink, I think, I write. Sometimes I read before I write, but then I read, I plan, and I implement. Those things every single day. Hydration, you dehydrate during the night, so you got to get that hydration in. You got to get the water. You got to get that liquid in there. Don't jump into coffee, although I have a cup of coffee, but I've had my water too. That tastes good. So the habits will grow when you have good habits. Let me give you another example. I go to the gym every day. Most people will walk their 10,000 steps, which is good. You got to keep moving. My 10,000 steps would be mentally draining because I have to think about every single step I take. When you're getting your left side going, it takes time. You're rewiring your brain. Gave up sugar, gave up alcohol, gave up social media to help rewire the brain. Started journaling, started getting coached, started on my journey of clarity. I was addicted to Adderall for a bunch of years. When I went off it wasn't pleasant. It wasn't pleasant at all. But now my addiction is clarity. My addiction is writing in my journal. My addiction is knowing where I want to go and helping others get there. That's my addiction. That's a good addiction. The other one, not so good. The community score. That's where we can leverage. It's like the networking effect. Every person, we're in the middle of migrating all our 300 plus podcast guests in there and absolutely bringing others in there because together we're better. I used to be able to do introductions through like email or call them sometimes. You got to meet this person. Calling is time. It takes some time. I do make phone calls, but not in that regard. But I'd send an email. Hey, Joe, meet Pete. Well, the email goes into spam. Pete doesn't know that I sent an email connecting them both. So there's crickets. I'm wondering, did Pete get the email? Did Joe and Pete hook up? Did they connect? Because they're similar in what they're doing. Now, in Score, I can communicate right in that platform. There's no spam filter. There's just your profile, and there's a way for me to connect you more efficiently because time freedom is so powerful. I get 3 days in one, 3 5-hour days. I know what I'm doing the first 5 hours, the second 5 hours, and the third 5 hours. It's a routine. It's a habit. Didn't happen overnight, but you gradually, each day you get better. Because when you stay in your genius zone, when you've got the wind behind your sails, magical things happen. So only thing I do right now, I do 3 things. I podcast, courses, and coach. I don't do everything. Those are the 3 things I know I'm good at doing, and I stay in my genius zone as much as I possibly can. I'm always learning. I'm always innovating. But then Trex and Rolando are there to support our team, support our community. They're good at the support side. I know what I'm good at. They are good at the support side. Together, we're better. That's why we can help support you in automating your business, creating demand, growing your cash flow and building a thriving community. Everybody should have a community. So we help you with your community, help you with your focus, with your energy, with your clarity, with your courage, with your productivity and influence. Your influence online will determine whether you stay in the local sandbox, 140 people that know, like, and trust you, and transition to the global sandbox. That's billions, millions and billions of people that don't know you yet. How are they going to know you if you don't build an online profile? That's why we help you do that, because you want to play where there's billions of demand possible instead of a smaller sandbox of 140 people. Transition to the global sandbox. When you're in the global sandbox, your demand grows. Okay, the daily discipline. I touched on it, but my flywheel starts early. I'm an early riser. I get up real early. Those first 5 hours can start anywhere from 3:30 to 4. This morning it was 3. But those 5 hours are critical. I do the same thing over and over again. I educate myself. I journal. I think. I read. I get the brain going. And then I plan and I implement. So I know I don't check emails first thing and check other people's priorities and jump into a reacting mode, because you won't get momentum. You won't have a process if you're trying to live other people's lives or their priorities. I texted half a dozen people yesterday before I went to lunch, about an hour or two. Most say, hey, I'm too busy, got too much going on. It's Friday afternoon. You should be wrapping up your week, not reacting to things. But that's the mindset that we can get into if we don't create habits, we don't learn, we don't grow, we don't get better. Together we're better, in community of people that are helping and encouraging that clarity, that energy, that courage, that productivity and influence. That starts with Growth Day. Every single day I listen to Growth Day. Every single day. My 5 to Thrive. That's the fuel for my day, fuel for my rocket each day. Then we look at the school community, the capacity to create time, wealth, and health freedom. When you have mental clarity and physical energy capacity, you generate tangible results, the freedoms. These aren't just perks. They are the metrics of a healthy system. Sustainability, the community. If you look at the community as a networking effect, if this month we have 200, next month 400, next month 800, the community gets bigger, stronger, more connected, so it keeps growing, and the network effect starts kicking in. You want to meet people, you can meet people. You want to learn, you can learn. You want to get focused and have clarity in your life, you can, because we coach you through that. Then when you want to invest in yourself, which I highly recommend, I was coached for 1 year, invested in myself, the best investment I can make. I got certified. If you want to be certified as a high performance coach, $10,000, maybe a little bit more now. But it's worth every penny and then some by tenfold, because when you want to achieve a higher level, you got to find the people that'll help you get there. There's nobody better than Brendan Bouchard. Nobody better with the way he is. If you want to hire him right now, you'll have to have $1 million. That's the kind of value he creates in the marketplace. So you can get that same value, but it's leveraged in Growth Day, where he can coach you every day, where he can pour into you, where you work on the 5 to thrive. And when you have that fuel for your rocket for the day, you start having bigger and bigger wins. You start getting more time freedom, more wealth freedom, more creative freedom, more location freedom, travel. And when you have that, freedom is beautiful. And I have a fair amount of them, and I keep working on them. Keep getting better, keep getting better. The results create stories that feedback into the community of school. You don't just consume mentorship. Your wins become your blueprint for others. This eliminates the isolation. You are no longer the only one carrying the responsibility. Community, together, we're better. The 3 pillars of freedom. I'll go back to this. Create demand. Demand is leads. It's the lifeblood of your business. The cash flow allows you to keep going. Without cash flow, your business stops. You want to keep going, generating cash flow. When people invest in businesses, they look at your cash flow. When people buy businesses, they look at your cash flow. Because if you have a cash flow, not just sales, cash flow. Cash flow allows you to have a healthy business. And your environment, your school community is in that environment of community, in there with people that are on the same journey as you. Freedom. They're working on their freedom. They're working on themselves. Time freedom. This is the most beautiful one. You have 24 hours, so do I. I have worked a system where I get 3 5-hour days in. So where I'm getting 21 days in a week, most are getting 7. That's where when somebody texts me in the morning and says, can we have lunch? I value that relationship. Not everybody. Somebody texted me, said about going to an event Friday night. Well, my grandkids were more important. My family was more important. Yes, you do serve, but you've got to be healthy first. A lot of people will pour into others without taking care of themselves. That's when the physical and the mental things start to break down. Wealth freedom. It's not by being a millionaire. The freedom is this. If your overhead is $5,000 and you have $6,000 consistently coming in every month, you're free. You're free to be who you are. You're free to do things because you're not worried about, do I have enough to pay this bill? Do I have enough this to take care of this food? Do I have enough to take care of this? It's taken care of because you have set your business up to be sustained by the wealth that's coming in, reoccurring. And that's what you want to work on, that cash flow and that reoccurring income that sets you free. Then you can work on whatever you want. You'll constantly grow the wealth part, but if you say to yourself, I want to be a millionaire, well, what does that mean? I want freedom. Okay. There's steps to get there. Are you willing to go through the steps to get there? If you're not willing to put in the reps, put in the effort, the skills to get there, it's just a dream. You got to put some meat on that dream. That's where you have to establish those daily goals, get in a community, work on the freedoms, understand what are you working on? You have to know that each day because the goal has to be bigger than what distractions are possible. Because my gosh, we have more distractions than we ever have. And if you're not clear on where you're going and you don't have a strong why and you're not working on something bigger than just a paycheck or some money, it won't be sustainable. Okay, location freedom. This is a big one. I can work from anywhere in the world because my business is podcasting, courses, and coaching. I can do it in a cafe in France. I can do it in Costa Rica on the beach. in a villa. It doesn't matter. As long as I have an internet connection, I can work anywhere. Now, did that happen right away? No, because before my stroke, I had a digital business. When I had a stroke, business basically shut down. There was a couple clients that continued for a short period of time, but it wasn't long. The cash flows dried up. I learned a valuable lesson. Can't be about me. If I'm the person that gets stuck, if you can't leave your business for a week, a month, and the business goes on without you, you are the person that you have to replace yourself. You have to empower your organization. They have to be able to have systems and processes and things that you've established that it runs without you, or you don't have location freedom and you don't have a healthy business, because a healthy business will be fulfilling. If you want to go to France, take a week, do it. And your business should continue. But that's where you have to work on your location freedom, creative freedom. Wow, this is a big one. This is staying in your genius zone, doing things you love. I was listening to a video by Dr. Daniel Amen. He's an ADD specialist. He's done hundreds of brain scans. And he was talking about some of the things you can do to help your ADHD. One of the things he said is do what you love. You can have incredible focus if you're doing what you love, if you're doing what you were created to do. I do it now. I love Monday mornings. I love every single day. Is it challenging? Yes, but I'm doing what I love. So I don't need speed. I don't need drugs to get me focused. I just need to lean in to being me, creative. And when you're creative, something about it, just we're born to create. And staying in your genius zone allows you to lean into your creativity. When we aren't drowning in noise and urgency, you recover your visionary mind, the space to innovate, create, solve problems, the joy rather than the pressure. Health freedom. My friend, Coach Crystal Duke, wonderful person. And she's helps you set your priorities, because you have only one body. Take care of it on earth, it'll serve you well. If you don't prioritize your health, then nothing else matters. It doesn't matter about the travel, doesn't matter about the time, because when you lose your health, all the other things crumble. You could have 50 goals. Lose your health, you have one goal. Get your health back. Success is not worth a heart attack. The flywheel demands that your physical health is prioritized as a business asset, not a sacrifice. Prioritize your health. Go to the gym. Hire a coach. If you're at a point where you need that support, you need that help, you need that person laying out a plan that specializes in that, in being a health and fitness coach like Crystal Duke, hire her, because your health is so important. If you neglect it, it will be a regret. Man, you don't want to regret not prioritizing your health. Don't let the signals, whatever it is, whatever the health signal might be, don't make that your wake-up call. Just make a decision to find somebody like Crystal Duke to help you in the journey of health and fitness. Travel freedom. When I was at Overture, there were people that went on a lot of different cruises and traveled. And some physically couldn't enjoy it because neglecting the health, they couldn't travel like they wanted. Now you look at Jerry Boaz and his wife, Mary Jane, they travel with this mindset, chasing history. Wouldn't it be cool to be at the place that you've read about in the history books, going to that spot and thinking, this was like 500 years ago, this happened on this spot. You're traveling with a purpose. And don't wait until you're 65 and can afford it. Afford it now. Lean into your travel freedom. The ability to explore the world without tethered of anxiety, to be present where you are, knowing the system is working in the background. Meaning, if you're away, the business is running and you're putting the lifestyle in a order that honors you, that fulfills you, that gives you a sense of enjoyment. We don't want to be burned out because we neglected to enjoy the journey. Work hard, have a system, hire a coach, join a community, work on yourself. And when you do that, the future is bright. Activate your freedoms: time freedom, wealth freedom, location freedom, creative freedom, health, and travel. These aren't isolated goals. They are compounded results of our freedom building system. Don't build alone. Join Freedom Builders. Go to our QR code. Let me see if there's one more. Yeah, there is one more. Okay. Let me just put this up on the screen. And oops, that's Growth Day. If you want Growth Day, I didn't even realize I had it on there. Okay, here we go. Go to pk.me/school, SKOOL. Join our school community. Surround yourself with freedom builders. Then when you're ready to design your life and invest in yourself, you have that option to get on 30-day sprints where we're going to help you work on your freedom. We're going to automate your business. We're going to surround you with the best. We're going to work on your clarity, your energy, your courage, your productivity, and your influence. Build that global business. Go from a local sandbox to a global sandbox. Create that demand. When you create the demand, the future is bright. Work on yourself. I'm Pete Kane.